Chevy will limit the 2023 Chevrolet Corvette C8 Z06 GT3.R sales. Guys, let's go. Howdy folks, you on the C8 on Speed 252 show. Scroll over to the right, click that subscribe button, and join this awesome community. What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of C8 on Speed 252. This your first time stopping by? Well, my name is Clarence and I want to thank you for joining me today. Definitely give this video a thumbs up because I would love nothing more for this video to hit the algorithm, and definitely hit that subscribe button because I would love for you to become part of this community. I'm going to say right off the bat, this is some exciting news, but also some sad news. At the same time, the Corvette C8 Z06 GT3R is definitely coming, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this car will be like in person. Obviously, we have already seen the C8 Z06, and that car looked fabulous, so I'm kind of curious to see what exactly this Z06 GT3R will look like. And I know some of you guys are interested in this car. I'm not exactly sure what the specs will be. There's not a lot of information about that, but Chevrolet has talked about limiting the C8 Z06 GT3R sales. With that being said, I'm going to give you some information right now that I found that you guys would possibly love to hear if you're interested in purchasing this car, or possibly a Z06 in general. So with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you for joining this channel today, and let's get into it. Chevrolet is targeting an initial batch of 10 Corvette Z06 GT3Rs for each of the first 2 years of production. Now, if Chevrolet is actually limiting the GT3R cars, it is very possible they're going to limit the Corvette Z06 as well, which is why this car is going to be hot for the first 2-3 years that it comes out, because there's going to be hardly any on the market. Think about it, you guys. Now, I could be wrong about this, but if there is only a few of these cars on the market, what do you think it's going to do to the sales? It's going to make the supercar, which is the C8 Z06 that some people are calling exotic now, going to be super rare, and it's going to make the prices go up on some of the Stingrays, and that's exactly what some car customers think is going to happen. Leave your comments down below if you think Chevrolet will limit the Corvette C8 Z06 along with the GT3R sales as well. And they are initially calling this a GT3 program, the GT3 customer program at that. General Motors sports car racing company manager Laura revealed that Pat and Miller built the GT3 car and confirmed last week for the 2024 debut, with initially being focused on a limited production run targeted for customers in North America and Europe. With that being said, we definitely know that this car is for sure coming. I mean, think about it. The C8R, they only planning on building 1,000 of those, and most of those was already pre-sold before they even started building that car. And that was just for the Stingray. So when the GT3R comes out, we talking about wide body, we're talking about more horsepower. This car is gonna be ridiculous, and a lot of people are gonna want it. Laura goes on to say, with the expansion on an initial allocation which meets the FIA minimum build for 20 cars in the first 2 years, will depend on the level of demand from the customers. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think once customers actually get a chance to see maybe a version of this car in person, it is going to sell like hotcakes. I mean, think about it, you guys. Can you imagine driving something similar to the C8R? I mean, you're getting the GT3R, which is going to be a great looking car. A lot of people really love the C8R edition for the C8 Stingray. So they're definitely going to love this version. So you guys, leave your comments down below right now. What are your guys' thoughts on the C8 Stingray C8R version? Laura goes on to say, we finally got an announcement out, which is great. When we start finding out who was interested and who was ready to put down a deposit sometime next year, that's when we'll know where we need to be putting all our focus, and then we'll continue to grow from there. So this is a car that definitely hoping to sell. and they're definitely looking for a lot of customers who was interested in the G3R version to definitely put down a deposit for this vehicle. Now, I'm not going to lie, a lot of people have already put down deposits for the C8 Corvette Z06, so I'm sure there'll be some guys who are truly interested in this version of the car that will put down a deposit for it as well. They have already got the car obviously designed, and is being designed and developed and getting ready for testing right now. One thing they would genuinely need for this to really follow through and happen for them is they're going to need customer support. The structure is almost another group of people that are working out and trying to figure out the details about this car. Now, this makes sense. They said that they are focused on a US market first. Absolutely, they are focused on a US market first. We know that the one's best, that's where we're going to be comfortable with buying this car. Now, a lot of guys were not happy when Chevrolet announced they was going to build a right-hand drive regarding the C8 steering rail. A lot of guys like, they should build the cars over here first, and I completely understand that. But as a business owner, you would want to market your product to so many people around the world. So I get that we want our cars first, but you do want to build a couple of right-hand drives that will appeal to another audience. So with that being said, I completely understand why they're going to focus on the USA market first, because this is a car that is built in America. So I understand why a lot of guys are upset about them building a right-hand drive, and with them saying that they're going to focus on the US market first, this will be incredible, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of you guys that will possibly own this car in the future. They are getting down to way more of the details on the US side of things. Now, the Europe side, they have just started the conversation and trying to figure out what they will look like and what will make it make sense. Now, once again, they're only going to be building so many cars each year. As time goes on, they plan to ramp up, which will hopefully do it the correct way. Now, what is going to be interesting is see where they end up with this racing. They are looking forward to blasting this around the world with our initial customers, and we'll be working with all of them. They go on to say that they're still in virtual right now. The pictures that they have built off a CAD model that they are currently still working on. They still have a little bit more to do, so things might get tweaked a little bit here and there as the path continues to grow. Now, let's be honest, the Corvette C8 Z06 isn't 100% finished either. They're still tweaking and testing things as time goes on. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, one of the engineers said they're about 98% done with the Corvette C8 Z06. So if they only 98% done with that car, they're nowhere near close to finishing the GT3R, which is fine, right? They don't plan to have the Corvette Z06 in customers' hands until next year, hopefully May, June, July timeframe like that. But at the end of the day, they're still working on it, so they can't be done with the GT3R anytime soon. Now, this is interesting. The team goes on to say that the Corvette C8R GTE car, which helped develop the Z06 production car, has now formed the bias of the GT3 car and an unexpected nice circle of development. So it sounds like obviously all these cars had a spin-off of each other in some fashion, way or form, where one car gave an idea to another car and another car gave an idea to another car, which is completely fine and completely understandable. What it sounds like to me, and I'm sure you guys are going to agree, that at the end of the day, all these cars are going to be fabulous, and I'm looking forward to seeing them as well. The team goes on to say that they actually didn't plan it that way. It was nice that it worked that way according to them. When they launched the C8R, they thought it would be able to race for a couple more years, but it is what it is. Now they have the opportunity to take the Z06 and turn it into their next gen race car and really connect. Those who own it can see a car even closer to what they had in the past. That is freaking insane, you guys. Leave your comments down below, your thoughts on that. Now check this out. The engine is going to be significantly more production based, but considering the C8R was test bed for the production engine, it creates a very nice circle for how it worked out. Now this is going to be absolutely interesting to you all as well. The flat plane crank, that all stays the same. It's around the same size, about the same package, and they are going to be able to pull more production content that's now available to them to use that was not when they started doing the C8R engine in the first place. Man, that's pretty cool. Now, I'm really glad to be able to explain this to you guys. Per the regulations for the GT3, you have to do that. But now the Z06 is out and they have a perfect donor to be a part of this process and to have the opportunity to connect the two cars together. Now, I know a lot of you guys will be interested in looking at that car and seeing it in person, and I got a good feeling it's going to be an incredible car. It's one of those things where this Corvette C8 Z06 is already crazy. I mean, it's already crazy. We are talking about 670 horsepower, naturally aspirated at that, right? And then you got 470 foot-pounds of torque, which a lot of people are actually complaining about, but you got to understand there's only so much torque you can put into a naturally aspirated engine. But here's the crazy part, and I'm sure a lot of you guys already know this. Chevrolet has been chasing Porsche for decades now. They have been wanting the Corvette to be just as good as the Porsche. Well, when I went to the unveiling, and so did Mike mentioned that right before we got upstairs, Taj told him that Porsche called him directly on his phone, the Chevrolet team, and congratulated them on what they've done with the Z06. Now, for Porsche to make that one phone call, that tells you that Chevrolet has done something amazing with this car. I mean, literally, Porsche called the Chevrolet team themselves and said, congratulations to what you did with the Z06. Guys, this car is going to be an absolute beast. And I cannot wait to see this car inside of you guys' garages. Once again, definitely check out my website. I would love for you to subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you all again.